Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Love and Astrology Night. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about Mercury moving into Sagittarius. I will recap the astrology for the week. I'm going to read for the collective, and then I will offer some free and paid mini readings at the end. Guys, please remember we are multi streaming, so we're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch tonight, all at the same time. So, welcome. Come in, get comfortable. I'm just going to check to make sure everything is looking good and we are live. All right, let me pull up my notes so I can go over all of the astrology for the week. Guys, I will read for the collective immediately following. And then I'm going to offer some mini readings at the end. I see that commercial playing. It does feed me, so I'm not going to get too upset about it. Hopefully, it doesn't last very long. It gives everybody time to come in. Welcome, welcome, everyone. All right. I thought I was going to be running a few minutes late, which I am, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Vanessa coming in on Facebook. Welcome. Sherry joining us on YouTube. Welcome, ladies. Welcome, welcome. All right, so let me recap the astrology real quick so I can let you know what's happening this last week. Well, first, I want to start with today. Today is the 21st, right? So happy Libra new moon. We're closing out the Libra and Aries axis, guys. So for 2 years, I feel like me and Sherry were just talking about this. For 2 years, guys, we have been working on learning how to choose ourselves so that we can have healthier relationships, right? So learning how to balance the give and take in all our relationships, really not just intimate relationships, but really in all relationships in our life. So for 2 years, that's what we've been doing. And I feel like now we're moving into that Pisces Virgo axis. So that's going to be a little bit different, of course. We're going to be more focused on our health, our mental health, our spiritual health, and really our daily practices. So that's what we're moving into for the next 2 years. So everyone should feel really comfortable with this Libra new moon when it comes to choosing yourself and not over giving of yourself so that you become depleted, right? So it is a new moon, but it is a closure of an eclipse axis that I'm personally glad to be finished with that lesson. And now we move on to the Pisces Virgo axis, right? So happy Libra new moon to everyone. All right, let's talk about the astrology for this last week of October. We are going to include that first day of November. Guys, next week we will go over all the astrology transits for November. We'll cover that in Love and Astrology. Sherry, can you give me a sound check over on YouTube? We have a little bit of an issue over there. Guys, Mercury is smirkering, like for real. So that is the free reading that I'm offering tonight. We're going to take a sneak peek into Mercury Smercury. It does go retrograde at the beginning of November, so it's actually going to be the following week, but we are going to touch on that information tonight because we want to get ahead of the game, right? Like we want to be able to um, know what's happening before it gets here, right? Can I get a sound check, please? Perfect. Thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. All right, still good. Everything's still good over there on YouTube. Sweet. All right, let's keep going. I don't know why it does that. I'm telling you, it's Mercury retrograde. It's the worst over here at PLR. Like we deal with the worst audio during Mercury retrograde, and it is shadow period. So it's not retrograde yet, but we are in the shadow periods, and we're experiencing what this Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius is going to bring us. All right, let's get into it. So I'm going to start with Sunday, October 26th. Remember, guys, we're looking at the last week of October and the first day of November. So the 26th through November 1st. All right, so here is what is happening. On the 26th, Mars is actually going to meet Lilith in Scorpio. So that should be interesting. It's very powerful and intense mix of energy. And what it means for you is that you might feel strong emotions about control, desire, old frustration surfacing. And it is resurfacing so that you can feel so they can bring the hidden issues up to light, right? So that is what's going to be happening on Sunday, October 26th. On Tuesday, the 28th, we have Venus in Libra. This energy is the planet, of course, is all about love and beauty. That's Venus. But it feels right at home, of course, and very balanced in the sign of Libra. And what that means for you is that the focus can turn into more harmonious relationships, finding the beauty in situations and that type of situation. On Wednesday, October 29th, is when we have the big one. This is going to be your biggest cosmic influence for the entire week, Mercury moving into Sagittarius. It's actually going to stay in Sagittarius for quite some time. It moves in and out because of the retrograde. So we're going to experience a lot of Mercury, in Sagittarius energy. Not always retrograde, but for a majority of the portion, it will be. Mercury is the planet of communication, right? So it's going to be moving from intense Scorpio into much more optimistic and adventurous Sagittarius. I don't know if I was a fan of Mercury and Scorpio myself. I remember making the statement that I'm glad, that the planets keep moving, right? I think Sherry said it. They always keep moving, and we get to keep moving forward. Thank God we don't get stuck in one particular situation, right? Um, So Mercury in Sagittarius is our thinking and conversations will become more positive. It's more big picture type of energy. It's going to help us look forward to things. And that's going to help the mood shift from a digging deep to a dreaming big type of energy. So I'm really excited for Mercury moving into Sagittarius. And we'll talk more about it in just a moment. On Friday, the 31st, we do have a happy Halloween, of course, for those of you that celebrate. We're going to have the sun is going to be in Scorpio. If anybody was wondering, the sun is going to continue its annual journey, right, through this very transformative sign. But on the 31st, what it's going to mean for you is there's an overall theme of power, transformation, and getting to the absolute truth of a matter. So keep that in mind, October 31st, right? Best move, I think, here is going to be to use the time for deep thinking about your life. Look at what needs to change. This is going to be a powerful moment to connect with your inner strength and determination. And then Saturday, the last day of the week, the first day of November, this is a snapshot of where all the planets are going to be. The sun is going to be in Scorpio, so focus on deep change and emotional truth. Mercury is going to be in Sagittarius, so communication and optimistic focused conversations about your future. Venus is going to be in Libra, so relationships will feel balanced and harmonious. Mars is going to be in Scorpio still, so your drive and passion are strong, but it can feel really intense. Just like I wasn't sure if I was a fan of Mercury and Scorpio, I'm not sure how I feel about Mars and Scorpio. And I do have a lot of Aries in my chart. Mars is the ruler of my own personal Rosa chart, right? So I do feel that the impact of Mars and Scorpio is felt pretty strongly in my day to day. Jupiter is going to be in Cancer, so that's blessings and growth. You're going to be focused more on your home and family and emotions with that energy. Saturn's going to be in Pisces, so that's about lessons and structures that are found in your dreams, spirituality, your compassion, that type of thing. Uranus in Gemini, this is surprising shifts here. Neptune's also in Pisces now, retrograde, so intuition and imagination could be really strong right now. Pluto is direct in Aquarius, so this is big, powerful changes happening in like society, technology, and our communities. All right, so this week is going to be a week to embrace your inner strength, communicate your hopes, and build a better future. And the stars are supporting our journey this week, the 26th through the 1st. All right. That's a lot, right? Busy week, busy week. I don't know about you guys, though. I feel like I'm grateful to uh we have picture. I'm kind of grateful to be moving into November. I feel like October was a hard month for me. It was fun. I had a lot of fun this month. Halloween is my favorite holiday. I still have one more Halloween weekend at work, so that is super exciting. Um, but yeah, this month kicked my butt. The astrology was fierce, and this is really like a layout, right? Like this is like it's kind of laying out um you know, how the end of the year is going to go, right? All right, sorry guys, I'm trying to get comfortable, crossing my legs in my giant, I call it my big butt chair. I love it. So give me just a moment. Vanessa says, cool setup. Thank you. What do you think about my witch's hat? Can you guys see the witch's hat? How cool is that? All right, let's do a quick collective. I pulled out the Wisdom Vintage Oracle. I don't want to get too in depth because we are going to be doing the November Twin Flame energy reading. I imagine that'll be next week. We do have a members only live tomorrow. However, I am going to have to move that up. I did have something pop up, so I'm going to move it up to, I think, noon. And then, of course, Thursday we'll be back with all 12 signs for the last week of October. All right, here we go. I love it. All right, let's check in with masculine energy. We have the Hope card. I definitely heard a message. There's a message card in the, you know, the OG cards that says, I will never lose hope. Who was I talking to about that? I was just recently having a conversation with one of you guys. um, it's been a busy week. Where I said something about, like, you know, I try not to focus on the person because I know that it's about the purpose, right? I get that. But like it's hard. It's hard sometimes to, like, you know, not have hope, or to like let go of hope, or um you know, that type of thing. So that's pretty interesting coming out for the masculine. But for the masculine energy, I do see the tree in the background. It shows like the golden peaches. So there is this energy of like some type of abundance. They're waiting for some type of abundance, some type of, I feel like they're trying to be patient as they wait for something, like they're not losing hope in some dream that they had. And that's masculine energy. It's also possible the lights, like the sun coming over the mountain in the background, is sticking out to me as well. So it's also possible that they're starting to see like something come to fruition, hard work coming to fruition. All right, let's look at the feminine energy. The strength card is coming out. I feel like I've seen the strength card a lot for the feminine energy. We're really having to push through something. What's interesting is if you're on this type of awakening, like if this is the type of awakening you're having, and I imagine that other types of awakening transmute energy as well. I'm not having that type of awakening, so I don't know what they do. But in this type of spiritual awakening, um, that's what we're doing, right? We're transmuting energy, you know, and I don't know how to break that down. I mean, light to dark, you know, hate to love, you know, all that kind of stuff, right? So I think a lot of times for the feminine, you're doing this without even being conscious of doing it. You're doing it just when you're healing on your own journey, when you're putting the spotlight on your healing, and you're not running from the things that you know you need to heal within yourselves. It's like that's when you're working. That's when you're transmuting. That's when you know, you're literally healing the world, and you just don't even. Some are conscious of it, and just some aren't. But for the feminine, this could be making you feel tired, and making you feel like you need to rest more. You could be feeling like, you know, just more exhaustion, and trying to figure out why. Like maybe you working the same hours, or it's your regular schedule. You know, there could be some trouble with sleep as well for some of the feminine energies. Um, the dragonfly is sticking out to me, but it is the strength card, so it's like having to dig deep. There's actually 3 different dragonflies on that picture. All right, let's look at the bridging energy. We have the peace card. The sheep is sticking out to me. There's this energy of keeping the peace. The child is also sticking out to me. For many, this just could be like healing inner child. Um, but it seems very worldly, the energy with this peace card. Um, and there's something about nurturing, compassion, and innocence. The release card is on the bottom. All right, let's clarify a little bit. I'm finding the collective readings a little bit like something's changing about them. It feels much more like if you've been watching me for any amount of time, we're usually like a week ahead, and that's about as far out, you know what I'm saying, as I can really like see certain stuff. Um Now we do have like our monthly energy read that we do, and we've been doing that since the beginning of PLR. And I feel like that's really the only time that spirit allows me like to see through like several weeks. Um, but I'm noticing in the collective readings, just the last few I've done for the last few lives that we've done, that for the most part, they used to be like confirmation for me. Like I had already dealt with the energy, so I knew what it was about. And I'm noticing that again, like just the last few collectives, that it seems a little bit more trajectory, like it seems a little bit more like ahead, like I haven't experienced the energy yet. So I'm finding that pretty interesting just for my own personal journey. All right, let's clarify. So what is the hope for the masculine energy? Why is the hope card here? It's the main energy. So we have the moon card, not in reverse, just me. The moon is emotions, feelings, intuition. This could be about trusting their intuition. I do feel like it's got something to do with their dreams, something that they've invested in, been working towards. Because I see them like pulling the arrow back in the picture. The girl's rule sweater is definitely sticking out to me. The tattoo, it says fierce on her arm. It's very determined energy. We have Seven of Wands. It's protection. And we have Two of Wands. So the masculine energy feels like they have to protect something, or they have an expectation to protect something or to hide something. Maybe their emotions. I got it. So the masculine energy still has hope for something. They're just not showing that hope to other people. It's almost like they don't want people to see that they're still holding hope for some type of situation. It's almost like just in case it doesn't come in, right? Like just in case it doesn't meet their expectation. All right, let's look at the strength card for the feminine. I did feel this energy of tiredness. There's a lot more energetic work going on with the feminine than actual like physical things. The chariot is here. It shows her in the wheelchair, like going through the cosmos. There's this energy of like moving quickly with the chariot, like things could be moving quickly for the feminine energy. Seven of Pentacles is here. Seven of Pentacles is well, it's the card that says be patient. It's a card that says you're working towards something, but you may not know exactly like where it's headed. And that's kind of the energy that I get here. And that could be why you're having to have to pull from this inner strength, because you're not sure like what all the work is for, where it's going. It's almost like the masculine has some type of idea of what it will turn into, and the feminine is, but the masculine is doing less work than the feminine. The feminine is doing more work or moving quicker. Putting more work into it. It's even like even more invested. The masculine is like, I'm holding on to hope, and the feminine is like, that's fine, but I'm doing the work. That's interesting. All right, let's look at the peace card. So this is going to be the higher something bridging energy. So the bridging energy is the current spiritual lesson. So it's like right now we're being asked to hold the peace, create peace. There's something about innocence. The Lovers comes out. It's about choosing yourself, healing yourself. The Nine of Cups comes out. It's about divine wishes being granted. And the Judgment card comes out. Strong Scorpio energy here. And it's about following purpose. This is the journey that we're on. This is my clue card for the twin flame journey. It's interesting. It's definitely giving counterpart energy here for those of you that have counterpart. Look at the Knight of Swords on the bottom. Someone could be courageous enough to deliver some type of message. There could be some new communication, but it's definitely giving strong counterpart energy. It's definitely giving like coming together, focusing on the purpose, focusing on the purpose. All right, let's pull a guidance card. I'm going to use the Tree of Life. It's quiet. It's quiet in here tonight. All right. How's the sound, guys? Is it okay? Is it breaking in and out? I still have that little exclamation over on YouTube. I don't know why. I feel like we're going to deal with a lot of tech issues during Mercury retrograde. The Nest card comes out. I'm told that's it. Branches Fallen is on the bottom. It does talk about the importance of cleanup. But let's look at that Nest card. Abundance, treasures, new life, patience, instincts, says threat to life, predatory acts, and plundering. All right, the Nest card is here for you. It's a phase of life when you can expect many new positive opportunities. You're discovering all the good that is in you. You're incubating and awaiting for the right time to hatch into new life experiences. You will know when it's time to burst through the barriers as you ready yourself for new adventures, new lessons, and new celebrations. You hold natural power and riches in your own hands. The gift of life and renewal is yours. Like treasure found, unexpected gifts are soon to be received as you create through your own will. The life you choose to live. In life, you cannot control everything, but you can control your own responses to all things. And so your journey is about finding the nest of calm and peace within where you will cultivate your glorious potential. The next card is about life and potential to renew at any point in life. So breathe deeply and know that your destiny is to thrive. All right, guys, that's going to be the collective. This is the fastest Sunday night, fastest love and astrology we have ever made it. I'm wondering what's up. What's up with that? Diana says sound is fine. Yeah, I have no idea. We have an error on the sound showing on YouTube and Twitch now. That's good. All right, we're not worried about it. All right, so here's what we're doing tonight. Let me get to it. All right, so I got Mercury. Smercury is the reading I'm offering tonight. If anybody wants to get a sneak peek into Mercury retrograde. Also, if you have your charts and you know your rising sign, you can drop your rising sign in the chat, and I will give you a general idea of how Mercury and Sagittarius will affect you pre-retrograde, during the retrograde, and then post-retrograde. That is also free tonight as well, guys. It is. It's Smercury for sure. I went out and had dinner with my family. I rushed home so I could make sure to be on time. And I'm a little upset. I'm a little upset with Spirit right now because it's like, why do I do all that? And then it doesn't go out anyway. So it's like that's a lot. Like I should have just took my time and we could have just started when I got home. Mercury reading for Sherry. I love it. I didn't decide which cards I wanted to use for the Mercury. Let's use Hocus Pocus. I need to dig out my Nightmare Before Christmas cards. We'll probably pull those out this week as well. Sandra. Sherry says maybe you just need rest. It's very true. Very true. I feel like this week I haven't been able to I don't know. It's almost like I will work and so I got sick yesterday, right? I'm still not ready to talk about it. But like I got up and I was like, I'm gonna work, and if I'm not supposed to work, then I'll know. The universe will tell me. But everything was, for the most part, going pretty well. Um, and then I would like hit an obstacle, and I'm like, what's this mean? Does this mean I'm not supposed to work? Should I be resting? Should I put this down? Should I stop? Should I keep going? Am I supposed to persevere? Am I supposed to like not let Smercury piss me off to the point that I'm like, forget it, I'm not gonna finish it? You know what I'm saying? So it's like this back and forth. And then of course, if I would just shut up and listen, I'd probably hear the guidance, but you know me, I like to talk. I know. So, but I feel like that's kind of where it's at. It's like there's been so much Mercury that I'm like, what does this mean? What is this about? Most of the time I'm glad, like it's a good outcome when I just persevere and push through, right? I feel like when when Spirit, like if I'm not supposed to do the live or something's supposed to happen, like it just doesn't happen. We don't ever get to hit the button. We never get that close, right? I love that. Let's check that because I'm a Cancer rising too. All right, so Sherry says she's Cancer rising. So let's pull it up real quick. Let me get to my notes and we'll go over Cancer rising. Okay, so the house affected for us, Sherry, it's our sixth house. Sagittarius, sixth house. I actually have my moon in Sagittarius, sixth house. So this is going to affect our health, daily routines, and our work. Pre-retrograde, we're going to be excited to learn maybe a new health regimen. I've been working on new breathing practices. We could also maybe implement optimistic new systems at work. That could happen as well. I've been working with my schedule. Your daily communication with colleagues could be more upbeat pre-Mercury retrograde. All right, post-retrograde. Very possible that you perfect whatever new workout routine or health regimen you started before the retrograde, right? Or the work process, whatever that was about. A delayed job offer or health program might come back around post retrograde, but now it has better terms and more clarity than it did before Mercury retrograde started. All right, so that's Cancer rising. All right, let's go ahead and do Sherry's Smercury. All right, so here's how I'm going to do the Smercury. My idea is the first card is going to tell me what type of Smercury you're going to deal with, right? So is it like, exes returning? Is it communication issues? Is it a delay? Is it a trip? Is it, that type of stuff? Then I'm going to look at what, spirit's guidance is, like what you should implement during the situation. And then we'll look at the outcome. So post retrograde. Cap rising. That's a good one too. Let's look at it. So yours, the reason that yours is a good one is because it's affecting 12th house, subconscious, secret, spirituality. Pre-retrograde for Capricorn rising, inner world is full of big philosophical thoughts, intuitive downloads. You could be optimistic about resting, meditating, and working behind the scenes type of energy. However, post-retrograde, so after retrograde, Mercury, Smercury, a period of reflection will bring profound clarity in some type of situation that you've been dealing with, probably for longer than even the shadow periods. Insights from your dreams or solitude could definitely become clear. So in your meditations or things that you dream about, do you remember your dreams, Sandra? And do you write your dreams down? This could help you release old mental baggage and solidify a more hopeful inner belief system. That's Capricorn rising with Mercury and Sagittarius. All right. Hocus Pocus. Let's look at Sherry's Mercury, Smercury. First thing I'm looking at is what are you dealing with? What type of Smercury? And this is potential. Doesn't mean that it's going to happen. It just says this may happen. And if this does happen, this is something you could do about it, right? All right. First one to come out, Page of Candles. This is feisty. It's feisty communication. It's aggressive communication. It came out with the Two of Pumpkins, so I can even tell you what the aggressive communication is going to be about. Are you ready? It's going to be about an energy of lack. Something's not enough. Somebody feels like they're not getting enough. Maybe it's you standing up for yourself and saying, hey, I need more of something, or I need to give myself more of something. But I feel like it's actually someone around you in a page energy, which is it's a, I mean, I don't know how to say it. It's a more immature energy. Um, it could be someone going through, so Page of Wands is also spiritual awakening. So it's like, it could be someone going through like dark night of the soul. So in other words, they're experiencing challenges. So they're trying to project those shortages onto you. That could be something that you deal with Mercury retrograde. All right, so let's see what Spirit says you should do. What's the guidance? So we have Eight of Lightning, so it's going to be communication. Think of like Eight of Swords. So Eight of Swords is like self-restriction. So if you don't say anything, you're going to keep yourself stuck in some type of, whatever you're dealing with now. But if you speak, like if you speak up during this time, then it's going to help you break free from some type of restriction that's been holding you down. All right, let's look at what the potential outcome is. Mercury, Mercury. All right, we have the Three of Candles. So Three of Candles is you take new action, right? Three of Wands, you take new action towards your future. I feel like there's something keeping, it's almost like something's got their thumb on you. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's like a promise of something, like if you work for me for this long, I'll give you a raise next year or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you have this feeling that the thing they're promising is like never coming. There is this energy of like not wanting to give it more because there hasn't been any confirmation. It doesn't feel equal. It feels very unbalanced. All right, I'm gonna leave that there. I hope that was helpful. Renee, welcome. Mercury, Smercury. All right, drop your rising signs in the chat, guys. Drop your rising signs in the chat, and I'll tell you pre-retrograde, post-retrograde. All right, Diana. Diana is going to be next. Diana, say hi to me in the comments. Guys, give me just a second. I got to run and grab my water. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry, I forgot my Nana cup when we were out eating dinner, and then I had to make William go get it. Aquarius rising. Let's look at it. All right, so let's see. The house affected is 11th house, which is friendships, groups, hopes, and wishes. Pre-retrograde, Aquarius rising. You're excited to share big visions with friends and networks. You could be in group projects, so dealing with social causes. Community events could be highlighted pre-retrograde with Mercury and Sagittarius. Post-retrograde, you reconnect with the group or network of this is going to be something long term, like you've been wishing for a long time. Whatever the group is, it's about like coming up with new ideas, innovative ideas, Aquarius energy. You could experience a delayed invitation or group endeavor that may resurface now after the retrograde is over. That's more aligned with your true goals now than it was at first, right? So a lot of group energy with Aquarius rising. All right, let's do Diana's Mercury. It's Mercury. How many of you guys feel like you already feel the Mercury retrograde in the shadow periods? Like, have you dealt with any miscommunication, any exes resurfacing? I feel like that's what happens to us all the time. Delays in it's normally delays in travel, but I mean, it could be delays, like you could be waiting for a job offer or some type of communication. It's like it doesn't come in, feels like it's taking forever. That is Mercury. It's Mercury. All right, Diana, let's find out what kind. What's the potential here? Where's the trajectory headed? That's what Spirit's telling me. It's like we can change at any moment. I could give you this reading and you'd be like, I don't like that shit. I don't want to have that argument with that person. So I'm going to go talk to them now and we're going to clear the air now and we're never going to have this situation. You see what I'm trying to say? So it's like, doesn't mean that it's just going to be that way. All right. First one to come out is the Seven of Lightning. I immediately picked up Ace of Ace of Swords, because I just saw the one candle. So Seven of Swords is more like disbelief or distrust in something or someone, but I'm still picking up that Ace of Swords energy. So I'm getting like, there could be someone that you're struggling to believe whenever they tell you something, and Mercury retrograde, during the period, of Mercury and Sagittarius through the retrograde period, it's very possible that some truth comes to light about something, which brings you more clarity in the area where you had confusion or disbelief, or where you just thought somebody was, not telling whole truths. I think that someone's told you something already, you feel like, no, that can't be true, and then this is going to happen, and it's like you find out that it was true. All right, so let's see. What's the action guidance that Spirit has? Look at that Ace of Lightning. No way. Okay, so it's almost like I was saying earlier. Like, if I tell you this and you're like, no, I don't want to find that out now, go do it now. Like, just, like you're having a conversation with someone, and maybe you're questioning whether they're telling you the whole truth. Just be right in their face. Like, hey, is this the whole truth? Am I going to find out something later? Don't let me find out something later, because if I find out something later, this is going to be a whole different situation. You see what I'm saying? I'm definitely picking that up, Diana. All right, let's see. What is the potential outcome here? So we have 9 of Pumpkins coming out. This is more about putting the focus on yourself. That's interesting. It's almost like you feel like you're not getting whole truths from someone, and you're like, look, if I can't get the whole story, or if you don't feel comfortable telling me the actual, whatever. Or it could be like somebody's accountability. Maybe they don't want to hold themselves accountable, and you could look at them and be like, hey, if you're not going to hold yourself accountable to the full situation of what you did, then I just don't want any part in it. I'm just going to go off and do my own thing. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Hope that was helpful. I know. I knew that Ace of Light. I felt it. It was so strong. Jenna, welcome. It was. It was so. I felt it before we ever got there. All right, Sandra is next. Sandra, say hi to me in the comments. Jenna, we're doing Mercury, Smercury readings tonight. Mercury, Smercury, and we're flying through tonight's live. Like, we're almost to the end, and we've only been on for 42 minutes. I don't know what that means. Maybe Spirit has something else I'm supposed to be doing. I do have some good news I want to share. I woke up this morning to news that I got an email from Amazon. My payment was being put into my checking account, deposited, because my shadow work journal sold its first hard copy. So I sold my first hard copy of my Twin Flame Shadow Work Journal that I made back at the beginning of summer, if you guys remember. We sell the digital copy pretty often. It's $10. People download it from the website. But this was the hard copy. It's a $29 book. I was like, kind of nervous making it, but it's a nice book. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a published author, y'all. Like, the book and Amazon, it's they publish it for me, like whenever someone orders it. So it's like made to order. And then it's got, I designed the cover, I put all the stuff inside. And someone ordered my book. So they published it, they made it, and they sent it to whoever. It doesn't tell me who ordered it. I don't know who you are, but I love you so much, and thank you, right? But yeah, somebody ordered my hard copy shadow work journal, and so that literally means that I am now an official published author. And I just think that is the shit bomb diggity. It was definitely great news to wake up to, right? And it's not a cheap book. So I just, I'm so proud of whoever purchased it, whoever invested in themselves in that way. Like, just, I'm so blown away and amazed. But yes, guys, all our dream journals, the guided dream journals and all that stuff, those are all listed in the description box. Links are always in the description box. You can purchase those things. The daily, guided dream journal, I mean, I created that too. So I guess it's kind of like being published. but it's the same thing on every page, right? Because you fill it out every day, right? Like that's the purpose. And then it helps you like interpret your dreams. It's asking you the same questions on every single page. This is an actual book that I made with shadow work prompts and shadow work information so that you can understand what shadow work is and why it's so important in your spiritual journey and on your healing path, right? So yeah, I'm super, super proud of it. And I'm just so, and you can get the digital copy, which most people do, and you just download it on your phone and do it on your phone. But yeah, I don't know who got it, but I'm just so, so grateful. I hope there's more, right? All right. It did take a minute. Like I made it at the beginning of summer, but like it's an Amazon book, so they have to approve, they have to approve your design, they have to approve your cover copy, they have to approve like, what you put on each page, and it definitely is like a lengthy process before it all gets, finished and they say, okay, you can sell your book now. So yeah, I don't know, super excited. Yes, I want to say it was this morning. It was super early because I had just, opened my email and was doing the things. But yeah. All right. Okay, I lost it. Remind me where we were. Were we at Sandra? We're at Sandra, right? Renee, my rising, I met my son is Capricorn. Yeah, what's your rising sign, Renee? I gotta figure out how to do that. How do I let YouTube lists know to add the Facebook list? Thank you for going over to YouTube, Vanessa. It's my fault. I'm supposed to tell YouTube, hey, let's add these people, but I didn't see it either. All right, guys, get your name on the list. Sweet. That would be crazy because that then you guys are the same. Cap Sun, Aquarius rising. I'm gonna have to look at your charts now when we get done with the live to see how similar. I know that there's a lot of us in here that have very similar charts. Like there's a lot of people that have. It's weird. It's almost like it's either similar to my chart or it's similar to my counterpart energy chart. Like the person who woke me up. I keep saying I'm gonna make a new label. I'm so sick of the ones we have. Okay, so Sandra, Vanessa, and Renee, and then we'll wrap it up after that. It's going to be a short one tonight, guys. Members, PLR members, tomorrow we're going to go a little bit more in depth with Mercury retrograde. I'm going to talk about the different aspects that are happening at the same time that the retrograde is happening. And I'm also going to do a collective for the PLR members tomorrow. Now, right now, it's showing scheduled for 8 p.m. But unfortunately, I did pick something up at 6, so I need to push that up. I'm probably going to do it around noon. So I'm just letting you guys know now because a lot of you are in here. So if you can't catch it at noon, I completely understand. Just make sure to go back and watch it because it's going to have all of that retrograde information in there, right? All right. Let's do Sandra's Mercury Smercury. In case you guys were wondering, Sandra's the one that came up with the Mercury Smercury. That's why we started calling it that. Renee says, I keep losing sound, but it's phone connection. Well, luckily it's on YouTube, so you can, or Facebook too, so you can always go back and rewatch. Taurus moon for Vanessa. Sweet. Sherry says, I'll be there. All right, guys, here we go. Sandra's Mercury, Smercury. What type of Smercury are we dealing with? All right, so we have the Seven of Lightning coming back out again. This time it really is Seven of Lightning energy. I definitely picked up that Ace of Lightning with with Diana's, but with yours, it's someone. This is more about. I'm seeing like the man behind the curtain. So it's like someone is presenting themselves to be a certain way, but they're hiding something uh like behind a mask, that type of energy. So that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow during the members only live, because this Mercury retrograde, there's an aspect happening between Eris and Chiron and and Mercury, and the moon, um, in the middle of this retrograde, that is going to bring some type of light to the surface. So it's like some type of truth is going to be dug out during this particular Mercury retrograde, November 9th through the 29th. And again, we'll talk more about that in that members only. So if you can't watch live, make sure you come back and rewatch it. Because I think that's going to be the bigger challenge for this Mercury retrograde than the delays or the miscommunications or the exes returning, all of that. You're still going to be dealing with all of that. But on top of all of that, some dark truth is being pulled to the surface with this particular Mercury retrograde. And that's what your Seven of Lightning card is representing. So what I'm hearing is, like, don't believe everything you hear. Use your intuition. If you feel like someone's telling you not whole truths, or they're keeping something from you, then they most likely are. But it's possible that whatever this truth is that comes to the surface, it could be something that kind of takes you by surprise. I'm kind of getting that with that Seven of Lightning. All right, let's look at the action guidance. We have Ace of Potions. This is emotional overflow. So it's definitely, Spirit's not saying go poison them. But it's definitely, it's whatever the secret or whatever was kept behind the mask or behind the curtain type of energy, is going to be potent. It's going to be of some toxicity. It's going to be something that could cause a lot of emotion. So Spirit's asking you to keep control of your emotion. It's overflow of emotion is what I'm getting, but it's like I'm picking up a little bit of King of Cups, like, be in control of your emotions. Don't allow whatever this is to like knock you off your stability of your own emotions. I'm also getting like Ace of Cups is also intuitive hits. So it's like you're intuitively picking up that something is about to be shown to you. So it's like trust your intuition, stay calm, don't let it like disrupt the way you feel about something. All right, let's look at the potential outcome. Mercury, Smercury. All right, we do have the Five of Candles coming out. So it does say it's challenging. This isn't going to be easy, whatever this Mercury is for you. But it does say also that you're prepared. You've been burning the wick for hours. It's something that's, I don't think it's going to be as surprising as I originally thought, because it's almost like it's something that's been burning or going for a long time, right? Like you can see the wax melting. This isn't a brand new candle, right? So is it challenging? Yes. But are you prepared for it? Have you trained for it? Are you ready for it? Yes, all those things. All right, I hope that was helpful. She says, already spoke my truth with my oldest son tonight. Ooh, do you feel like the reading was confirmation of something you've just done? Like something that just happened? Renee says, yes, thankfully. Me and my mountain pit living, no towers. I was just talking, who was it? I was talking to Sherry, I want to say, because every time me and Sherry do a one-on-one, it's like there's some type of sound issue or something. And I was like, you're not the only one. It happens with Renee too. It's not just you. All right, let me go back up and see where we're at. Is it Vanessa next? And then Renee, and then we're gonna wrap it up. And I just yawned big, Vanessa. That might be a message. Sandra says it went better than expected. I love that. I love hearing that. All right, Vanessa, say hi to me. There you are. All right, here we go. I know, Renee. I was telling her, I was like, you're not the only one. It happens. All right, Vanessa. Mercury, Smercury. First, I want to look at what type of Smercury are we dealing with. Ooh, we have the Knight of Potions. Ooh, get ready, girl. Get ready. Here he comes. Knock, knock, knock. All right. It's not a cups. It's the player card. It's the person that doesn't know how to love themselves, so they can't love anyone else. It's also giving a little narcissistic vibes because this person's like, um, I'm courageous enough to come tell you how I feel, so I think you should pour into my cup type of energy. This could be someone you haven't talked to in a while. This could be someone that it's taking them a lot of courage to come and say something to you. This could be someone that owes you some type of apology, and they feel like if they come and apologize, then that should be it. Like, and maybe they don't even apologize. This could be someone who like just returns and wants you to pretend like whatever happened the last time you saw them didn't happen, right? Like it's that energy. It's cups as well. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. All right, let's look at the guidance. What does Spirit say to do with this fella? We have the Seven of Candles. So protect yourself, right? It's like Seven of Wands. Healthy boundaries will be important. Enforce your boundaries as well. I feel like you know all these things. All I'm doing is telling you something you probably already knew, and you could have already sensed it. I was telling someone this earlier today. If you have a person that goes in and out of your life and they seem to resurface every time there's a Mercury retrograde, that person is not staying. Don't waste your time on them. That person is not staying. If you have a person that keeps coming in and out of your life and they show up after Mercury retrograde, so if they come in November 9th through the 29th, that person is temporary and they are not staying. There's something you haven't finished with that situation, and that's how come they keep reoccurring. If the person pops in after the shadow period, so I don't know, like December 11th, I would say, you're good. You can focus, you can put some investment time into that person. But from now until December 11th, if some person reappears in your life that goes in and out, they're going to leave again. They're going to leave again. It's not permanent. They're not going to stay. Don't invest. Don't wait. Don't get all hopeful and then get mad that they left again. You see what I'm saying? That's Mercury. It's Mercury, like at its peak level. So just giving everybody a heads up, right? All right, potential outcome. We have the Eight of Lightning. Eight of Lightning is like Eight of Swords. Self-restriction, telling yourself you can't do something. I don't think that you tell yourself you can't do something. I think you tell them that they can't do something. I don't think it's self-restriction. I think you're restricting the energy that is allowed in your energetic field. I don't see you telling this person, oh, it's okay. Not at all. All right, I'm going to leave it right there. I hope that was helpful. All right, Renee, last one. Let's wrap it up. My little guy out there wants his Nana. She said, if I only absorb half of it, it will be a win for me. I understand that, Sandra. That I, I understand that statement. All right, Renee, let me know you're still here. Say hi to me in the comments. She said, press record. Yes, he's a wailing out there. I hear him. I usually have the fan up a little louder so we can block it out a little bit, but it's getting cold, y'all. Like it's not as hot as it was. Thank goodness. All right, here we go. Mercury, Smercury for Renee. We have the Ace of Lightning coming out. Miscommunication. So I asked who is the miscommunication with, and I got Queen of Potions, Queen of Cups, motherly energy. Doesn't mean it's your mom, but it's someone who is supposed to be nurturing. It's supposed to be someone who, uh, loves unconditionally. I'm not really picking that energy up from this person. I feel like whoever this person is, I do think it's a female, and I think that you have a lot of there's a lot of animosity going back and forth here. And I think that, like, this Mercury retrograde, remember I told you that this is the one, the truth is going to come out. There's some type of truth with some type of feminine energy. All right, so Two of Candles is like the action or what to do. It is giving me energy of like being patient, don't overreact. What I'm getting for you here is that someone's going to show their true colors. You're not even going to have to do anything. You just let them do it on their own. Their own words and their own communication is going to do them in on their own. You won't even have to do anything. All right, potential outcome. And we have the Six of Lightning coming out. Six of Lightning is going to be like the Six of Swords. So it's like Spirit's going to guide you or help guide you away from whatever this energy is here. Do you know who it is? Let me know. Let me know if you know who it is. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I hope that was helpful. All right, guys, I see Miss Al coming in. Welcome, Miss Al. Happy Libra new moon. I don't know. At first, I was, I don't know, kind of dreading the Libra new moon. I'm the Aries, so I love, the Aries full moon. Was fun. Um, but and I normally like new moons, but this is definitely you do. Thank you for the confirmation, Renee. But this was, I guess, a little bit different than what I was expecting with the Libra new moon. I thought I was going to deal with a lot of relationship issues, and it actually wasn't. It was a lot more internal about how I feel in certain relationships. So it wasn't really necessarily like relationship issues with people. So it really worked out a lot better this new moon than I thought it was going to. I definitely feel like I was telling Sherry this earlier. This Libra new moon, it is a new moon, guys, so it's bringing new energy in, but it's actually a closure of the last 2-year eclipse cycle between with Aries and Libra. And so for the last 2 years, we've really been spending a lot of time on learning how to put ourselves first, on learning to find our independence, even if, even in our relationships. I think that really helped a lot of us that were dealing with like people pleasing or over giving, right? So for the last 2 years, that's kind of the lessons that we've been going through. And now as we move into that Pisces, Virgo energy, you're going to start to hear a lot of people talk about things like spiritual health and mental health, spiritual practices, and exercises that are more for your mental health and not your physical health, right? I think you're going to hear people talk more about that, as because Pisces is the house of God. It's the spiritual sign. Virgo is our daily routines, our health, but it's not, when I say Virgo is health, it's not just physical health. I feel like most people immediately go, oh, it's physical health, and it's not. You have physical health, you have, spiritual health, you have mental health. I mean, there's a lot of different categories that are going to fit under the health category, right? So I think we're going to see a lot of spiritual and mental health subjects and lessons come up as we work through the next 2 year, Pisces Virgo axis. So I'm kind of excited because it definitely means that I made my shadow work journals just in time, right? Coincidentally, right? um, just in time for this, the next 2 years that we're fixing to experience. I feel like if you are still struggling to, choose yourself, like if you didn't really learn the lesson or you're repeating cycles, does that mean we're going to leave you behind and the rest of the world goes on? Like, no, you just get dragged, right? That's how I always say, like, spirit, it feels sometimes like spirit's dragging me by my hair or dragging me by my ankles, and I'm constantly like clawing the ground going, no, I'm not ready. If you haven't learned how to, put yourself first and really stop like over giving and people pleasing, then you could have some challenges as we move into this, this next chapter. So I highly recommend, if you're still struggling with that you start putting some emphasis and investing more time into that care as we move over these next few weeks, right? Miss L says, weird dreams for me. Oh, same, same. I had another experience yesterday, Miss L. I'm not really like, I'm still processing. So I will say this. I feel like it has something to do with timeline jumping. I did have to make another visit to my Matrix hospital in Murray here. It's the only one I will go to now because I don't know. I just know. So it's the only one I'll go to. But I learned some things when I got home. Some puzzle pieces were given to me, and it's like I'm pretty sure I just experienced another type of, I'm going to put it in the category with Kundalini. You know what I'm saying? Like I had something pretty big happen yesterday, and it's like I'm still processing it. Um, but I feel like my dreams kind of built up to it. Like I knew that something was, about to happen. Yeah. So I don't know. Dreams could be very vivid right now for sure, and feel like they're telling you, like they're telling you the future. It's like they're premonition type of dreams, right? Miss L says, I've been saying what I need to say in my dreams and they feel real. Yes, they feel very vivid, like it's happening. A couple of times I woke up and I dreamed, like just the other day, I dreamed that I had a conversation with my sister for several hours on the phone. We talked about all kinds of stuff. I could almost tell you everything we talked about. And then I woke up and I thought I had this feeling like, oh, I forgot to tell her this. You know what I mean? I wanted to tell her this thing. And I went to go at my phone and I was like, wait a minute, did I dream that? Or did I actually talk to her? I had to go look through my recent, call log to see that I didn't talk to her. That was, the whole thing was a dream. I know. Miss Alice is waking up talking in my sleep. Ooh, that's a little bit different. That you're venturing off into a whole different, it's a little bit different there. What do they call that? not lucid dreaming. It's something else. Oh, I'm having a brain fart. But when you bring the dream into your physical, like reality, that's a whole different subject there. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for coming in here and hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I know it was a short and sweet one, but I'm still, getting back to 100%, so I'm not complaining. I will be back tomorrow, members only. Guys, make sure that you are Tribe 2. It's the $5.99 over on YouTube to be able to watch the member only videos. I am going to take a deep dive into Mercury retrograde November 9th through the 29th. I'm going to talk to you about that aspect, that cross that we're dealing with, where, the truth comes out type of energy with this Mercury retrograde November 9th through the 29th. We're going to get into great detail about that because I do feel that that is probably going to be the most impactful situation with this last Mercury retrograde of 2025. And then, of course, I will read for the collective. If you're there with me live, I may offer some readings. I'm not sure. If you can't catch the live tomorrow at noon, please come back and watch at least the beginning of the video so that you get that Mercury retrograde information. Okay. Thank you, moderator ladies, for coming in and joining me and always helping me keep the list as organized and easy as possible. I appreciate you guys so very, very much. And I hope to see everyone tomorrow, if not Thursday, for all 12 signs, Thursday, 8 o'clock. Hope to see you guys there. I'm always, always sending all of you abundant love and light on your journey. Have a good night, everyone.